This is episode 29 of the Fitness Plus Technology Podcast with the CEO of Rejuv Medical, J.R. Burgess.
The clear path is in 2018, the diabetes prevention program is first coming out where insurance is going to pay for preventative wellness services in medically supervised programs. So there's really not a clear path. They don't know what it's even about to hit them, but you're going to see hundreds of medical practices or the smart personal trainers out there connecting and having referral relationships with these clinics.
Welcome to the Fitness Plus Technology Podcast for club owners, operators, and fitness professionals. I am your host, Josh Trent, and this is your number one trusted resource for the accelerating world of fitness technology. Each week, we bring you an expert interview with a global influencer at the crossroads of fitness and technology. You'll gain the insights, tools, and inspiration you need to stay connected to the pulse of what matters most for your fitness business in the age of exponential technologies. This podcast is brought to you by support from our outstanding sponsors, Brian O'Rourke and his family of companies, including Videri Ventures, Integris Advisors, Moon Mission Media, and many more. If you're looking for unmatched guidance, capital, insights, or a great speaker or facilitator, Brian and his partners are the go-to resource for your organization. To learn more, visit brianko'rourke.com. We'd also like to thank the Fitness Industry Technology Council, your nonprofit resource for reliable technology information, supported by forward-looking brands who are seeking to drive increased technology adoption in the fitness industry. Make a difference and join at fittechcouncil.org today. For episode 29, we're talking about medical fitness and its impact on our industry. This is an advanced model of personal training that is yielding a massive opportunity that fitness clubs will be able to capitalize on and get more people healthy than ever before through referral networks and physicians. We're learning from the CEO of Rejuv Medical, J.R. Burgess, about how the entrepreneurial-minded fitness facility or studio that can understand how to partner with doctors will thrive in this new medical and fitness landscape. We're delving into topics about the advantages and challenges of trainers becoming medical fitness specialists and what the next couple of years will mean to our space with the passage of a 2018 diabetes prevention program that will partner with insurance companies to subsidize preventative wellness services through medically supervised fitness and wellness programs. Whether you're a club owner, operator, or fitness professional working in a small, medium, or large facility, this episode will deliver the practical and actionable resources to inspire outside-the-box thinking to serve more customers towards better health through technology and specialized training. Be sure to listen until the end of the show to hear from JR in our Fit 6 round about the action steps that leaders in the fitness industry can take, as well as what's coming next for the growth of medical fitness. Let's drop in right here, right now with J.R. Burgess. J.R. Burgess is the CEO of Rejuv Medical and MedFit. 7 years ago, he partnered with Dr. Joel Baumgardner, MD, with the purpose to change the direction of the healthcare crisis. Together, they developed a successful medical practice that utilizes medical fitness as medicine to restore health and vitality to their patients. J.R., welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to be on here.
Well, it was a privilege to see you speak earlier this year at Bedros Keuilian's event, the Fitness Business Summit, and I was just so enamored with your story, the way that you've transitioned from a bit of a non-linear path, I guess you could say, to walk this bridge to medical fitness. And I think this topic is really fresh for a lot of people in the fitness space. There's this ambiguity between how do we connect technology and sensors and wearables into a sustainable business platform for the fitness space. So really, really excited to dive into your story today and how this relates to our space. Unpack for us, what is this impact of technology and medical fitness? What do you do? Why do you do it, JR?
Well, we definitely do what we do because there's a major gap in healthcare. So years ago, the show Biggest Loser came out and I was working as a personal trainer. I was like, wow, that was an aha moment of what a gap there was in healthcare and how powerful it was when a doctor says you need to lose weight or helps patients understand their health risk. It just blew my mind. And so I was trying to hit the emotional hot buttons, and I was going through grad school at the time and having all the same language. And I had a major injury. I was a college baseball and a rugby player, and I had chronic Achilles tendonitis. I'd had 5 knee surgeries at that standpoint and was almost ready to have to give up what my true outlet and passion and love was at the time. And one of my patients that had a torn rotator cuff said, you should go see this Dr. Baumgardner. I'm diabetic and I didn't have surgery. And he fixed my rotator cuff tear with PRP. So I went there, and that's where he just asked me what I was going to do when I was done with grad school. And he says, that's exactly what I've been thinking about and envisioning, because he's family practice sports medicine. He said, if I had a patient that comes in that has diabetes and I don't get them exercising or eating right, I'm just covering it up. If I have a patient that has degenerative disc disease, if I don't get them functional, strengthening, and back to healthy movements, I know I'm just covering it up. You think you'd be interested in joining me? And that's where it all began.
Rejuv Medical, this was a partnership that was born with Dr. Joel. You guys had this relationship. How did you actually meet, and how did that spark Rejuv Medical?
Well, I had always seen him working out at the gym. I didn't know who it was, but I trained at a corporate Gold's gym, and I'd seen him, so I knew he was into exercise. I just didn't know who it was. So I went as a patient the first day. He was at Abbott Northwestern, which was a big hospital system. He says, this is my last day. I'm having to open up my own practice. And if you want this treatment, you'd have to follow me over here, the practice that I'm opening. And we just really hit it off in terms of, he knew that he could only spend 20 to 45 minutes in the room with the patients. And he says, well, JR, I know you're a results-based trainer. You're really known over there for nutrition and getting people great results. So he's like, if you could work with my patients 2, 3, 4 hours a week, I know you would have more time to make an impact than what I can as a physician, as long as I guide my patients that that's what they needed. So that's where we just had a real similar mindset on what we could do, how we could work together. And at that point, I didn't know much about functional medicine and some of the different integrated tools that could really get patients better results. I was already getting decent results as a personal trainer. And when we learned how to integrate to the medical, to do some of the things that I'm sure we'll talk about here in a little bit, it really just started to take off.
I think a lot of people hear the two words, medical and fitness, but could you explain to someone that might not know anything about this topic, what is medical fitness?
Yeah, great question. So, for instance, one of our first patients before we learned how to market and connect name was Susan Dean. She walked in, saw our ad in the newspaper on medically supervised weight loss. That was the headline that we used. And she was on 17 different medications. She'd had 6 joint replacements already, was barely able to get around, was prominent business owner in the community. And I said, okay, I can maybe get you going in the right direction with eating, but based on all your injuries, I'd really want you to see Dr. Baumgartner first. And what Dr. Baumgartner does, and what he does with anybody that comes through, is the CFAN model, which I'll jump into in a little bit, is we don't just do the injection. We look at everything. So when I came to him my first appointment, he says, JR, I'm going to need to look at your cell health. I know you exercise and eat good already, so you're going to have a good outcome, but I want to look at your testosterone, your vitamin D, your magnesium, all your blood labs, so we can reduce the inflammation out of your body so I can give you the best healing outcome. And then he says, after that, because you've had the multiple knee surgeries, I'm going to have you referred over to physical therapy, where they can look at corrective exercising, seeing your imbalances. And then I'm also going to put you in a brace that unloads your knee. So when I go and do the PRP, that it has the ability to do some scaffolding and regenerate cartilage right there. And then I'm going to shut down your pain with nerve injections. So when we look at our CFAN model, it's C, which is cell health, which is nutrition, blood labs, functionality is PT, corrective exercise, the right bracing, the right heart rate monitors, which we'll get into a little bit. The A is the PRP, the stem cells, the articulation that regenerates cartilage, and N is neurokinetic training or nerve therapies that shut down the pain receptors without surgery in introducing people. So Susan Dean came, we went through the CFAN process with her, didn't start her exercising. The physical therapist gave us a few different exercises, did the PRP. After 3 months, she was down 40 pounds, got her off the blood pressure all the medications, and started integrating it the right way. So that's in the gym, nobody that I'd have been able to work with on their own.
We're looking from a high level at medical and fitness and how this is possibly going to be subsidized. We'll talk a little bit during the show later on about the FIT Act. How would you say that medical fitness contrasts in the fitness industry? What does that mean to the fitness industry? Do you think that there's going to be a clear pathway to how medical fitness can integrate more into the current fitness space?
I don't think that there's a clear pathway, but there's some simple solutions that are out there. Is the doctors just don't know quite the business world, the entrepreneurial opportunity, the attraction. So really when we started, it was just the word medical fitness. So that alone is a patient attractor.
Yeah.
And that's why we grew the way we did. When we learned how to market, we were able to bring numerous people in and then integrate them to the clinic. We just realized the potential of the results when we dove into functional medicine and optimized people's hormones and vitamin Ds and got them sleeping better and reduced their cravings. The clear path is in 2018, the diabetes prevention program is first coming out, where insurance is going to pay for preventative wellness services in medically supervised programs. So there's really not a clear path. They don't know what it's even about to hit them, but you're going to see hundreds of medical practices or the smart personal trainers out there connecting and having referral relationships with these clinics. There's multiple ways to do this. I've been published in PFP magazine numerous times about different models to make this work. And I know we only have a half hour today there's just a lot of opportunity in there. But what's clear is it has to be some sort of medical referral relationship or connections. And the doctors don't know how to make this business model work. And that's where we're really stepping in to try to bridge that gap between these two things. But in all reality, it's just more advanced personal training that's safe and progressive, that fits anybody from high risk straight out of cardiac rehab. But half of our program's dedicated to your everyday gym members that just want better results.
I think you put it into a clean sentence there, where this is kind of an advanced model of personal training. And we did a show with Jamie Cole. We'll link that in our notes today in reference to what you're talking about, because JR, there is this opportunity right now in fitness that clubs can capitalize on and get people more healthy than ever before. And that's a referral network with doctors and physicians. You know, I'm curious, over the past 7 years, you successfully built this new model that really redefines healthcare to create some sustainable change and gets people away from, let's be honest, symptomatic care, where they're just putting Band-Aids on things. How did you do this? Can you give us a high level of how you've achieved success in these past 7 years?
So how we've achieved it is a lot of trial and error. I'm lucky that I partnered with a doctor that really believed in investing in this model, that healthcare was broken. He was tired of being in a system. Doctors are forced to see more patients that they can deal with. They spend more time in their electronic health records than counseling physicians, only to see their reimbursements continue to be cut. They have more insurance bureaucracy. They don't get paid. You know, the pharmaceutical industries, the government, the insurance, they're all making the money versus the back end patient care is suffering and sacrificing.
Yeah.
So it's a monetary model where physician burnout and dissatisfaction is at an all-time high. So we realized with the success that we're having that there's a gap in healthcare. And he sent me to learn how to market and attract. So we were good at learning how to integrate and then start building technologies, get good results on our own. But when we really learn how to attract patients on a higher level using the unique selling position of medically supervised, we took off. So after 4 years, we had already moved from 1,000 square feet to 4,000 to 8,000 and started designing our 28,000 square foot integrated center where we could be all in one roof. And that's where we said, we got to share this model with the world. So we started licensing our model, doing masterminds and coaching the doctors how to get better at business and marketing, because we tried thinking everybody could replicate what we're doing. Mm-hmm. But the secret sauce is really in attraction and getting people through the door first, which many doctors don't know. So that's where when we talk about the opportunity, if we get an entrepreneur-based studio or trainer that knows how to partner with these doctors to increase their outcomes, increase their happiness in what they're doing, and provide income streams without risk, which are easy ways to do, they're all on board for this because they know the model's broken and that in a lot of cases, they do their patients more disservice than they're helping them by just prescribing another prescription or having to see 250 patients a week. It's a hamster wheel and they're not happy about it.
Thank you so much for talking about the elephant in the room that I think most club owners listening are aware of. You do something really unique at Rejuv Medical. It's called the CFAN model. Can you give us a high view of the CFAN model? How did you come up with this? How does this apply to your business?
So it's always been there. So Dr. Baumgartner, we had our 3 pillars from the beginning. We had the sports and orthopedic side of things. That's your traditional physical therapy. That's any injuries. That's casting, acute care, and chronic care. So then what Dr. Baumgartner's specialized and been known around the world, what he was even doing before he started Rejuv is prolotherapy and PRP. He's authored the manual, the Guide to Regenerative Injections, which is used in every orthopedic association around the world. He's a world-renowned speaker on PRP and stem cells, and then teaching them how to do that. So that's our articulation. That's where you're starting to see the professional athletes. Steph Curry did it last year in the playoffs. That's where you're seeing a lot of hubbub about people doing stem cells and PRP instead of going to surgery, which again, surgery is just fine. If you had a loose body in your knee, you're going to want that to remove and have the best healing outcome, even if you did stem cells. But in basic chronic management, that should be the last resort, because once you cut out or do knee replacement, there's nothing there. So it's about, again, surgery, politics, money versus there's always been this good medicine.
Yes.
So what we have always realized in medicine, no matter what, from his sports medicine, family practice side, is exercise and nutrition is the best medicine. And most doctors know and agree with that. So it's a basic and novel concept. None of them just know how to make it work. So our C is just, the cell health, the blood labs, that's functional medicine. That's why traditional medicine's growing broke, is it's chronic disease and medication management versus focusing on their lifestyle, optimizing blood labs. That's not what they're taught in med school. So we just connected all three expanding fields at the best time possible. So when you look at orthopedics, all the surgeons now are starting to shift to PRP and stem cells. We timed it right 7 years ago and became leaders in it. Functional medicine, we were looked at as voodoo doctors when we started doing that 7 years ago. But now everybody's going towards integrated functional medicine. So that happened. And then we added medical fitness, where, yes, there were hospital wellness centers, but they were working in silos. They didn't integrate together. It wasn't part of the medical care. So we took 3 niches and really dove really deep on pulling it all together. And that's not just from a business model standpoint, like the Walgreens, everything under one roof.
Yeah.
It's from the standpoint of that's what's necessary to get the best outcomes and results with patients. They got to be exercising and eating better. They got to reduce stress. They have to learn how to communicate. They have to learn how to take care of themselves in order to have the best outcome. Otherwise, it will be just covering up anything that caused the chronic disease or degeneration in the first place.
What comes up for me when I hear you speaking about this broken model and how CFAN's addressing it, how Rejuv Medical is addressing it, and how the fitness industry as a global force can address obesity and this broken system. When we look at exercise as medicine, we look at the future of healthcare. How does this relate, JR, to the future of sustainable business models that we currently see in gyms? In other words, what are gyms looking at right now in combination with medical and fitness? Is this something that we're going to see grow in the next 2 years?
It's a niche, just like anything, Josh. If somebody doesn't dial deep to be an authority or get really good at it, they're going to struggle. Just like a lot of owners that don't go all in or that don't become really good at their craft, it's hard to stand out. So that's first and foremost. We got to get results in any successful business model. So if somebody's passionate about working with people with, knee replacements, obesity management, chronic disease, that's growing at an unprecedented pace. So there's a lot of opportunity to work with these patients. So as a gym owner, they could either rent out a doctor to drop in there one day a week, and now the patient or the doctor gets the revenue on some of the medical services. There could be a cash base on some of the integrated tools, such as metabolic testing, all that stuff. And then just a direct referral relationship. The studio owner could get rents from the doctor, because a lot of these doctors practicing this medicine, they can't do it in a big healthcare system. So they that are passionate about this are having to go out on their own.
Yeah.
But a first progression step would be branching out 1 or 2 days a week and learning how to build up, and then potentially even partner with the business owners, because any successful independent practice owner that I've ever met has somebody that's good with them from the business side. I've met very few of them that stand or can get great at what they deliver in the healthcare space without the right business partner. So that's where I've helped Dr. Baumgartner grow this. I got our studio rocking. We started to grow. I replaced myself with the right team. I became a CFO. After 4 years, I became the CEO. And then we partnered in the med fit and just started sharing the model with the world. So the good doctors need the right entrepreneurial, the right, growth-minded people to join them by the side, because independently they don't know how to thrive. So that's why they're stuck in the family practice, seeing 200 patients, not happy. They're stuck doing the things that don't make them the greatest income. And those that are succeeding are either really good at what they do or they've got the right team around them.
And I think for so long, JR, you're touching on something that came up for me here. We've been siloed. Fitness and gyms might be in one area. Medical might be in a separate area. Preventative care and wellness might be in separate areas. But now we're seeing these bridge. We're seeing them come together. And when we look at medical and fitness, do you see any big roadblocks? And obviously with a roadblock comes a massive opportunity in the fitness industry. When we look at combining the patient data with actionable coaching, what do you think that looks like as far as an opportunity and a roadblock to combine those two?
I truly don't see any roadblocks. That's just maybe my perspective or my mindset. I see how to be resourceful in times where there's a big gap in an opportunity. So I think it's untapped completely. My PFP article just came out about that on 12 ways to establish referral relationships with doctors or partnerships. And what gap it is the doctor's mindset that patients won't pay for this. So if there's any trainer out there that can sell and attract or network and know how to do this, they already have the referrals. They already have the patients. They just need somebody to sell them. Doctors don't know how to sell cash-based services. So the opportunity is just like anybody that's good at running a training studio could truly go and dominate in any medical partnership or referral relationship if they position it the right way. And for the gym, that's why we've grown, is because we can't go and say, here's $50 off your injections or here's $100 off your medical care. That's all. We have insurance entry points. There's no discounting. So you're having people with a very specific need, where fitness, if you can market with low barrier offers, such as 28-day metabolic resets or any of the other things that you've seen, the fat flushes and the 28-day or the 6-week challenges, those are entry points. And then when you integrate them to the clinic, you grow a clinic with this. So the doctors, until they see my presentation or see what we've done, really don't know the opportunity that exists for them. So like when I go present at these conferences, just like Fitness Business Summit, I have them coming up to me and saying, okay, I've seen this vision too. How do I go make it work? And we try to give them the direction on how simple this model really can be. I only see more opportunity. As we said, CMS and Medicare is going to start covering it. Then insurance is going to do it. That's when you're going to see all the doctors and family practices jump into the game, because now insurance will pay for it. If we made it in a cash-based model work, how can it not be easy in an insurance model?
And this is why I was so excited to get you on the show, JR, because we're seeing an incredible opportunity arise in the fitness industry, the FIT Act. This is something that's going to cover pre-tax medical accounts. So FIT would allow taxpayers to place $2,000 a year in existing pre-tax medical accounts for reimbursement of physical activity expenses, trainers, medical fitness, massage therapy, whatever it might be. How do you think this is going to open up a gap for opportunities in referral networks with physicians? And what does this mean to Rejuv?
I chuckle because we've already been doing that for the last 7 years, Josh. So okay. That's the beauty of medically supervised fitness. That's one of the first things that I ask when people come. Do you have any HSA or flex dollars? So we have a standing order if they're obese, on high blood pressure, high cholesterol. We have one simple form that our doctor signs a standing order if they're obese, overweight, have any joint problems, on any medications, that here's your prescription of your letter of medical necessity. So that's all we do, is write the letter of medical necessity. And we've never had a problem with any of our patients turning it into their flex and HSA dollars. They're just, again, medical fitness supervised in doing this model. We are one of the pioneers on trying to make it work from that standpoint. But yes, all of our patients that have that have been using that for a long time in our facility.
Well, we'll have to get that establishing referrals and networks from you to link in the show notes. This bridging of the gap, which we've touched on so much. Can you tell us about the Medical Fitness Network, why you're a part of that, what that means to our fitness space?
Yes, that's just the gap. That's why we do what we do. This is what we feel we're called to do, is medical fitness, exercise, and nutrition is medicine. It's the best medicine that there is. So when we partnered with MFN, there's people like Lisa Doherty, who's the founder of it, that is, just got an award at the White House of a nonprofit really trying to make this model work. So we just formed an advisory board with the Rochester and the Mayo system on how we can create the standards that we're talking about. And they're going to start bringing trainers into medical facilities. What does a medical fitness specialist or a medical fitness certification, or what are the qualifications to work with people with chronic disease or injuries? So we're trying to create a standard. As you know, in personal training, there is no standard across the board. anybody could get a weekend certification. There's no governance. There's nothing really that's high standard. So when we're dealing with having to really be the best and try to take people in the best care that have the progressive injuries and need the support, then there should be some sort of training or certification or best practices or resources that people have to go to maintain that. So it's a mission to get this. They highlight trainers that are trying to niche themselves. They have continuing education resources of anybody that's kind of tied to this initiative to try to bring the model forward, to educate other trainers, to show the opportunities. So we're part of the advisory board just to really bring this mission forward and put a higher standard in care.
And you've done a lot more than that. I mean, you have MedFit, which really helps people have turnkey medical fitness systems and fully support coaching to enhance better clinical outcomes. Tell us a little bit about MedFit.
MedFit's goal and aim is to help doctors add preventative and lifestyle medicine to reverse chronic disease and degeneration while building their bottom line. The doctors don't know how to make this business model work. A lot of the hospitals don't know how to. We've created our model that is profitable, that grows our clinic, that is having amazing community impact in our community, and it's just teaching them the turnkey systems of how to do that. You mentioned, and I mentioned, not all the practitioners are good at business. So sometimes before they start our license program that's turnkey and has the training, we have to make sure that they, get their business numbers dialed in, that they start with the right marketing and attraction and automation tools that are necessary to run a sustainable and an effective practice. Because you've probably heard of the shiny object syndrome. If they're not doing very well in their practice and we just add one more piece to it, that's not the best tool for success. So we have a process where we try to give some people pre-work to get ready to have medical fitness. Some people walk into it ready right away. They're already successful in their practice. And that's great. Then this is just a great tool that's going to get them better outcomes, improve their bottom line right away, and make a huge difference in their community.
Wow, JR, we just scratched the surface. We're going to link all the resources you've mentioned in our show notes today. But really, what I see with MedFit is its expansion of medical fitness and regenerative medicine. And this is our last part of the show. This is the Fit 6 round. It's 6 fast questions for 6 of JR's answers. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
What needs to happen in order for medical fitness to grow into mass adoption?
It needs the personal trainers to reach out to physicians, and it needs the doctors and the CMS, the diabetes prevention program, to say, okay, insurance is going to cover this. I have to do something. So it's going to happen in the next year. I'm excited about it.
Comfort zone is something we've touched on a lot for the show. What holds fit pros and operators back from being an early adopter and succeeding in change management?
Fear more than anything, from putting their word out there on live videos. I had a major fear. You heard my story at Regenerative Business Summit. Is you just got to overcome the fear, not what everybody else says. You got to hold yourself to a high standard, never peak, and you just got to get your message out there because people are looking for this type of model.
How do you gather the right info? There's so much out there when it relates to your life and your career in this fast pace of fitness tech. How do you gather the right information? What sources do you trust?
I go to the sources where people are doing great things. So if somebody's trying to implement medical fitness, I don't know anybody that's doing integrated centers better than us. If somebody wants resources and education, the Medical Fitness Network, the Medical Fitness Association, those have the education that's trying to equip people right there. Go to anybody who's having success in any industry where you want to go, and that's the first place to start. I'd tell anybody is don't try to reinvent the wheel. There's self-driven and successful tools for you to model and follow.
We're looking at major changes in Obamacare and healthcare right now. What are the pragmatic things that club owners need to know about the possible repeal of Obamacare, the changes we're seeing in our healthcare system?
I've never even worried about it one bit. No matter what happens with any politicians, those that see unique opportunity in getting better at marketing and messaging themselves and getting great outcomes are going to be successful in any model. So we think, which is crazy with the Obamacare, is deductibles and insurance continues to rise, right? So your healthy population, those that are starting to get unhealthy, are either going to have to pay for preventative services like personal training, functional medicine, degeneration. So are healthcare companies that are bearing all the costs for these that have to carry insurance. So they're going to be looking at corporate wellness, medical supervision opportunities. So with our costs going up, the only answer is fitness and exercise. So you just got to get good at what you do and message. I promise anybody that goes this niche and gets good at it, the best is yet to come. It's right there.
What is one of the favorite books that you've used to help you grow in your life's work? Do you have a book that comes up for you as a favorite?
Yeah, I had to overcome all my personal boundaries. So I had that scarred past. So really what I learned was intelligence is about your capacity to grow. So intelligence, and to get past your capacity to grow, means you have to let go of some suffering that happened in your past life, whether it's your darlings, your past, it was my father, my teachers, the market's not bad, and you have to fix your mindset. You have to have the confidence, the mindset, and the capacity to actually grow. So that means letting go of your baggage. So one of the most profound books that helped do that for me was Psycho-Cybernetics, that made me realize it's all in my head.
That is such a great book, Maxwell Maltz, right? And he was a physician.
Absolutely.
This has been such a great conversation. I feel like we could do another show just on the key topic of how we get this medical fitness piece to grow. But I want to leave club owners and operators with some parting guidance from you. This obesity epidemic that we're all facing. We have disease and injury. And as the population gets older, we have the boomer generation that's just going to need more care. What does this intersection, JR, of fitness and technology mean to you? In other words, what are the possibilities you see for health and business to grow in the next 2 years?
Well, technology and products creates passive income. So those that are have that mindset, that's these wearable devices are growing like never before. The integration of tracking and software behind people really truly needing to aggregate this data and let fitness and EHRs talk together. There's no solution like that. We still use mind, body, and then our electronic records and share access. So there's huge opportunities for anybody that's seeing that. Like I said, we use like MyZones in our VO2s to test people's heart rates when we get people on the digital pulse analysis, heart rate variability. So it means using different systems. There's not the one wedge gap that are doing this. All these tools are great, but software developers, wearable devices, there's big opportunity to learn some of the problems and the gaps that we have, that people like this that are trying to do this have, that there's solutions that can fix it.
We were going to link everything in the show notes today. There's probably going to be about 15 different links. JR, thank you so much for coming on the show and for really driving this section of the fitness industry that is so needed right now. Thanks for coming on the show. Where can we learn more about what you're up to for 2017?
Yes. mymedfit.com is our website. It has our license page. It has kind of like our business summit where we teach trainers, integrative doctors, orthopedics in our summits in 1 week, where we bring it all together. We have experts that are coming. They get to see our model firsthand. So those are opportunities that we have. I have my book, and it just got #1 best-selling author. So I'm about to put that up next week under our website. It's called the Medical Fitness Impact Plan. So if you go to mymedfit.com, in a week, the book will be on there. But right now, if you'd want it to just learn a little bit more, you could email Jenny H, JENNYH, at rejuvmedical.com, and she would give you my book just so you can read up and learn where this direction's going, because there's opportunity and it's needed for our families, for sustainability of our healthcare and future generations. So I encourage each and every one of you that resonate at all where the opportunity is in this and care about helping people make a difference in their lives. This is where healthcare is going. So we need you, encourage you, and reach out if we can guide you in any way possible.
I can't think of a better way, JR, to make $1 and a difference than combining medical and fitness. So thanks for sharing your gifts with us on the show, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Support for this podcast is brought to you by our outstanding sponsor, Aftershocks, who has created cutting-edge headphones using bone conduction sound technology perfect for cyclists, fitness professionals, and fitness enthusiasts alike. With an open-ear design focused on safety and comfort, Aftershocks is offering an exclusive bundle with a free gift for the Fitness Plus Technology audience. Pick up your free gift with purchase by heading over to fitc.aftershocks.com today. JR believes that the best is yet to come when we look at how medical fitness will create new income streams and greater health applications. The only answer is fitness and exercise. So industry pros must begin to take a serious look at learning how medical fitness will yield better opportunities for revenue and service to customers. JR believes that any changes in healthcare policy from a governmental level do not have to negatively impact specialized trainers or medical fitness, because at the end of the day, it's having the right mindset around using wearable devices and the integration of tracking through club software that aggregates fitness and health data, combined with electronic health records, that will really provide the right solutions to a rising obesity and health epidemic. The opportunities ahead to fix our broken sick care system are looming on the horizon. With an open mind and a tech-focused approach, Smart Data, along with integrating medicine and fitness, is providing a new era of what impact our industry space will create for humanity. Thank you for listening to the Fitness Plus Technology Podcast. Here's a quick message from Brian O'Rourke.
Hey, Josh, thanks so much for doing this great podcast. Friends, if you're enjoying this podcast, you're really going to enjoy following at Fit Tech Council. Follow me at Brian K. O'Rourke. And you'd really do us a big favor if you could go on iTunes or wherever you're listening to this and give us a 5-star. If you're enjoying it, please give us a 5-star and please share this podcast. Help spread the word about technology and the great opportunities it is creating for our industry space. Thanks so much for listening.